What's up guys, hope you're all doing well. Now for today's video, I wanted to talk about a new Godzilla movie that has just come out from Toho. This short film finally gives us the long-awaited rematch between the King of the Monsters and the 1970s creature, Hedorah. So I had no idea this thing had even been released, but Toho, the official Japanese company responsible for bringing us Godzilla films, actually put out a 5 or 6 minute battle between the Final Wars version of the monster and Hedorah, the iconic alien pollution creature from the 1971 classic that hasn't been seen since Godzilla Final Wars. And even then, it was only for a very brief cameo that left a lot of people disappointed. The short film starts out with the return of the smog monster, destroying the environment and attacking some buildings much in the same way it did in the first movie from the 70s, just before the Final Wars version of Godzilla shows up and does battle with the giant monster. What Toho gives us with this new short film is an authentic old-school Godzilla fight, complete with everything you'd expect to be in it from both Final Wars as well as homages to the original Godzilla vs. Hedorah film from the 70s. It really does feel like a follow-up to the Smog Monster movie, and I was extremely surprised by that. I'm even more surprised though that more Godzilla fans aren't talking about this, because the movie looks and feels like a legitimate sequel to one of Godzilla's most memorable films. The way I found out about it was from reading G-Fan magazine, which, if you didn't know, is the world's longest running fanzine that basically goes over all the possible Godzilla news you could possibly ask for. I'd seen little clips of the Godzilla vs. Hedorah rematch, but I honestly thought it was a fan-made production, so I didn't really pay that much attention to it until seeing this write-up in the magazine, which was then that I realized the fight that was going around everywhere was actually an official entry into the Godzilla film series from Toho, which, yeah, that got me pretty stoked to see what they had in store. They pulled this off by putting on a big celebration event for the 50th anniversary of Godzilla vs. Hedorah. G-Fan magazine states that after a lengthy period of planning, the movie was shot on September 23rd to the 24th on location, with Toho Studios parking lot being used for the monsters' battle. Kazuhiro Nakagawa directed the movie for a Godzilla festival, and a couple of veterans from the film series showed up to provide pyrotechnics and special effects. The monster suits that were used for the movie happened to be recycled from 2004's Godzilla Final Wars, which means that what you're getting with this short film is not only a semi-sequel to the 1970s classic, but also the realization of that Final Wars Godzilla going up against Hedorah in a full-on battle that was unfortunately never really shown in the 2004 movie. This is more than likely due to the fact that when the original film came out in the 70s, its hippie anti-pollution message and weird psychedelic imagery were poorly received by people, and Toho producer Tomoyuki Tanaka even told its director Yoshimitsu Banno that he, quote, ruined the Godzilla series. Now personally, I don't really think you could sink much lower than All Monsters Attack, which is definitely way worse than the Smog Monster film. It's just a collection of like stock footage from other Godzilla movies and a new goofy villain. And then even Ibira Horror of the Deep was incredibly boring and not all too fun, both of which, by the way, came out before Godzilla vs. Hedorah. But hey, I guess we all have our own opinions. The Godzilla films aren't exactly what I'd call something that you can ruin, if you know what I mean. But yeah, they did not like that movie. Yoshimitsu Banno really wanted to direct a follow-up to his 1970s film for years, but Toho pretty much banned him from ever doing another Godzilla film. And even though he got kind of close a few years back, he unfortunately passed away in 2016. So Godzilla vs. Hedorah, the 2021 short film, is definitely going to go down as an important little piece of Godzilla history in my opinion, because it's not only the first official Toho Godzilla movie to use practical effects suits and an old school vibe in years, but it's also the continuations of both Godzilla Final Wars and Godzilla vs. Hedorah from the 70s. This thing really does feel like a legitimately authentic Toho production, and I really wish we'd get more stuff like this in the future. Alistair from Dangerville has even told me that Godzilla vs. Hedorah was always one of his favorite entries in the Showa era, so there's gotta be more people out there like him who will love what the company has created right now too. Personally, I always like the darker and more serious stuff from Godzilla, but even I have to admit, it is just super fun to see Godzilla punch and kick a giant smog monster in an authentic miniature industrial area for a few minutes in this film. It's like watching Power Rangers on Saturday mornings, or one of the old Godzilla movies on Monster Vision from TNT. Hopefully you guys will check this movie out and have a blast just like I did. But hey, these are all just my own thoughts and opinions on the subject matter. Now, whatever yours happen to be, I'd love to hear them in the comments down below.